We had told you that one of the top agendas at the Davos 2022 summit is climate change. Leaders from politics, business, the civil society, as well as the media are in attendance. So the timing and the venue is perfect, but it was overshadowed by the war in Ukraine. One of the activists attending the summit feels the same. Elizabeth Wathuti says the war and climate change should not be seen separately. In fact, she says the conflict has worsened the impact of climate crisis.
I think one of the main things about the war in Ukraine is the fact that it has continued to exacerbate the impacts of climate change, and especially the rising food insecurity in the Horn of Africa. And what we're hearing is the fact that, this crisis, people talk about it, but we are not talking about the Ukraine crisis and the climate crisis at the same time. And it's as though people are not aware of the fact that this crisis also continues to impact the communities on the front line.
The U.S. climate envoy John Kerry shared a similar comment. He warned that the war in Ukraine should not be used as an excuse, and commitments made by countries at the climate summits should be upheld.
We should not allow a false narrative to be created that what has happened in Ukraine somehow obviates the need to continue forward and to accelerate even what we're trying to do to address the crisis of the climate. No one should believe that the crisis of Ukraine is an excuse to suddenly build out the old kind of infrastructure that we had. We have to be more creative than that. We have to be much smarter than that, given the stakes.
About 3 months after the world agreed to take climate action at the COP26, Russia invaded Ukraine and stole the entire focus. But this is not the first time. World leaders are easily distracted from the climate change issue. It has managed to creep into summit agendas and manifestos, but very little has actually been done, far from what is required. And Davos 2022 is no different.
In some of the events I've been in while in Davos, most of the conversation is really about economic growth. It's really about GDP, and I haven't really had conversations about the climate crisis, about how it's impacting people. So it's kind of worrying and devastating to see that business leaders are mostly discussing profit and not discussing the need to prioritize the lives of the people and how the climate crisis is affecting people.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.